friends. Hopefully you can hear me now. Let me make sure that that's unplugged. Let me know if I'm coming in loud and clear. I'm not sure what's happening with my computer at the moment. And so we'll try a different device. Sometimes it happens. Technology fails. It's always set up to sabotage me one way or the other. So apologies for that. I guess it must have been a settings issue. So I appreciate you guys hanging in there with me. So everything I said earlier, probably you just caught none of it, huh? That's okay. Actually, I can't even remember what I had said, but luckily I do have power. And unfortunately for my YouTube friends that tune in, probably will get this later and in an upload format instead of live. But I'll do some user testing later on and see what was going on. Perhaps it's just a headphone issue and I need to get a new pair of headphones eventually down the road. So hopefully you guys are doing okay today. I know some of us were without power and stuff is going on, you know, weather-wise. So hopefully just give me a shout out that you guys are safe and, you know, hanging in there with me. I know I've got power and electricity for the time being, so keep your fingers crossed that this is going to be a trend for the rest of the week, but we never really know. Hi, Deborah Perez. I'm going to say hi to my friends again. Hi, Shelly Lucas, my Canadian friend. Maggie or Mimi is here. Hello. It's good to see you. Hi, Trudy. Guys, if you wouldn't mind giving a quick share to our B groups out there and anyone else you could think of that might be, that might have some fun with this video. Some fun hanging out with us, right? Hey, Trisha. Hi, Pamela. Thanks for joining in, you guys. So today's pretty fun. Oh, hi, Shirley Featherstone. I didn't get to say hi to you earlier. And Stephanie Howard in the house. Hi, Sue McDonald and Holly. All of our fabulous friends are here, so I'm so glad you guys can join in. Hi, Amber. Carrie is watching. Beverly, Love, Rosanna. Oh, ladies. Lovely to have you here. So, today we're going to open up the Northern Lights Mystery Kit. And normally I'd have this big production all set up and stuff, but dang, the sound. It's kind of important, right? So I have everything set up at my desk, and what I was going to do is unveil this beautiful kit for you guys live, and I've got a couple projects set out for it. I may do a reopen and remake later down the road, just so it's like all put on YouTube and everything as well. Sometimes the lighting in here is a bit weird during the evening hours, especially now that we're running into, or currently we have it without daylight savings time. So it's getting dark outside pretty quick. And then my room is like a dark man cave just because I've got black everywhere. So not really great for camera work, but hey, it's all good, right? I saw Curtis was watching. Hey, buddy, how's it going? I see some of you guys have had some, Teresa and Gretchen, hi, thank you for joining in here. Ladies, or Teresa, if you wouldn't mind giving a quick share, to some of our B groups out there. Guys, if you are having some experiences that are bad this week, I see some hearts that are already pouring in, just like, let's just send out the good vibes to all our folks out there that are having some electrical or power outage or something crazy's happening. We definitely have you in our thoughts. We want to make sure that you guys are safe, so please keep us posted. Okay, I guess I will open this up. What else have we got to do, right? Okay, turning this around. Here we go. Okay, so this is the Northern Lights Mystery Kit. Now, quite a bit of you, have picked up this kit already and have started to maybe play with it, work with it, see what's in it. So I'm really, really excited to get to that, of course. Real quick, though, I wanted to let you guys know that I've got 5 brand new colors out in Hollow Mesh. This is something that I just did last weekend. This is River Hollow Mesh. This is no tinsel, dark blue. It's gorgeous. Would look great under some sort of a colored leather, I think. and layer well with, you know, actually any materials that I'm thinking about it. Some beads would look beautiful under this too. Especially now that we know how to widen this particular type of chain, it would really, really open up to a lot of possibilities. Okay, we've got antique copper. Now this one I'm surprised I didn't have until right now, just because this is such an easy one to go to for a lot of different colored leather, or it just works great as a neutral background, I think, for beads, for pearls, as Vicky just pointed out. I think, hey Lorena, I didn't see you pop in, so I'm glad that you are able to join in. So yeah, we've got this beautiful antique copper, and then I've got green. I think I've got green in the hollow mesh, in fact, but I wanted a plain one. They really are significantly different. Let me show you why. Because I'm gonna grab this off the shelf here. Like, this one's super sparkly and stuff, right? But the color becomes a little bit lighter whenever it's woven in with that tinsel. And so whenever you have it just plain, it is slightly darker, and I think, again, it just is a different usage altogether. Some of us aren't very sparkly, I totally get it. Some of us are more heavy metal, neutral type of folks that maybe want something a bit more understated. So this is going to be the chain for you to fill up with whatever you like. And then I've got antique white. I've been missing this from my collection and the hollow mesh, at least, so now we've got it. This would look beautiful with anything, I think. I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to think. I know Joni did a couple of bracelets in the Silkies group that she posted recently. It had some yellow leather with, I think, what appeared to be copper or gold maybe on the outside. Man, though, those looked beautiful. They look so expensive. So I think just doing something simple like that would work tremendously. Alrighty, kit, y'all. Kit time. So, we've got this kit. Let me clear some stuff out of the way. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't get to say the fifth color. This is dark rose in, or I think it might be titled rose. I can't remember now what I call this product. This is slightly similar to the antique copper. Let me bring that out real quick. But it's got a reddish tint to it, so it's a bit more earthy. Now, you'll remember this color in the actual dark rose capture chain, but this one's just the hollow mesh. And so, again, just a deep reddish, beautiful color. And again, you can see it against the antique copper. So this is a really great step forward, I think, in the color variety that I've got to offer. So those are all the 5 colors that are new to the hollow mesh. I did some work, y'all. I did some work over the weekend. I'm like, I need to knit some wire. I don't know. And then I get stuck in my own head sometimes because I'm like, will people like this color? I don't really know. Pink was one of those. I didn't really know if pink was going to be popular. And then you guys just like ate it up. So good. Okay, Northern Lights. Here we go, you guys. There's some stuff in here. We gotta talk about all this stuff. So first of all, let me take out this card because some of us have some trouble sometimes matching colors, getting a vision board together. Well, with the kits moving forward, I wanted to put this little card together that shows a graphic image of what I'm trying to represent with the kit. So this is a beautiful combination of these gorgeous northern lights that I've never seen, but I've seen pictures of it. Half my travels, if not all of them, I've seen inspirational photos, and of course this has probably been doctored via Photoshop, but I just thought that this picture with the mood that I was going for with these beautiful rainbow-esque colors just really captured this, I don't know, pre-summer sort of vibe that I kind of envisioned for fashion. And so, yeah, it gives you kind of a color wheel up here of some choices. So I drew out some pinks, there's some dark blue in there. We've got some of this beautiful teal color. So whenever I was knitting some of the wire for this, I was like, what direction should I go? Do I go pink or do I go teal? And I'm a teal guy, you guys. I'm a teal guy, and so I went teal. And so I wove some wire together that is this beautiful teal color that really coordinates well with the card. So that's sort of a launching point for some of the other items that I included in this. So let me set that aside. This is Pearlesque chain, by the way. This is a 2 knitting process woven chain. Basically, it's got a woven ball chain inside with tinsel, and then on the outside it has a knitted wire. In this case, I wove green tinsel, and then over that I put in blue wire. So whenever the colors vibrate against each other, it becomes this beautiful teal color. Really unusual. I never thought that experimenting with knitting would give me such an effect, or at least the chain in any way, but it does affect me personally. I'm just excited by everything that I've ever seen it do. And the colors just continue to inspire me, and especially all the different variations. I don't know if I said hi to Donna yet. She's been giving me a lot of hearts, so I gotta say hi, Donna. Donna Mosley. She says she loves teal. Girl, I do too. Teal is my color. Suzanne Brown. I don't know I think I said hi to you whenever I was muted earlier, or whatever was happening with the computer. I'm convinced you guys are like out to get me or something. Okay, so we've got some beads. Let me go over those last, because let me talk about this other capture chain that I included. This one's a silver, you guys are laughing. I see the smiley emojis. I think they really are. I think the computers are out to get me. This is a pearlesque chain that I have rainbow colored, like literal rainbow color in pastel, that is woven over a ball chain. And then over that is silver. So it's really this like toned sort of metallic rainbow color, just with the change of tinsel. And I thought this was a perfect addition to this, just since we're, sort of celebrating all these different colors together. What a great way to incorporate it all into this palette, right? So I gave you a couple feet of that to play with. Let me open up this. You're right. And so Donna says Mercury is in retrograde. I think my buddy William from Allegory Gallery was experiencing it the other day. I think it's hitting me for real. Look at this. This is a heart that's this gorgeous. Like, how could you not see all the colors in this together? Isn't that just too perfect? So I thought, gotta give you guys a big heart, because you always give me a big heart. So I'm giving you a big heart in this kit. And I found out a really great project that we can use it in. In fact, today I'm going to do 2 different projects, in fact. And I hope you love both of them. And again, I feel so bad for my YouTube friends. I know they would have... There's some people that are exclusively on YouTube and not Facebook. And so I'm trying to cater to both. But, sometimes, again, it just has its moments, technology. Okay, look at these. These are those, like, weird mermaid glass beads that I think is sort of it was a little bit of a hype for a while. But again, we're going with that iridescent rainbow feel, and nothing says to me more Northern Lights, like, palette than these do. So I really love these. They're just super, super shiny and glowy and cool. So I wanted to include a few of those. And then there's like a hodgepodge of other things. We get these cool little rainbow stars. In fact, I'm going to be using this in today's project. And then I got a couple end caps for you guys to experiment with. I'm going to be using that, in fact, in today's project. And then there's just some like miniature little beads, some, tiny little check glass, matte blue. It's got a rainbow finish to it as well. So there's definitely a lot of AB that plays into this kit, not to mention some glitter sparkles, because got to have those, right? Hi, Jamie! I hope you're safe and warm where you are, my friend. Thanks for tuning in. I'm glad people are finding me. Like, it was a little bit nerve-wracking to start the video and then to have to stop it and then be like, okay, I need to transfer over. I don't actually know why originally I had packaged this differently. I think I just maybe received the items at a different time, but in any case, it goes into the bigger picture of the kit here, right? So we got this really cool Baroque shape pendant, also glass. This is great for a smaller pendant if you want to. In today's project, actually, I'm going to combine a lot of this all together to make it like one big giant sparkle thing. It's going to be really, really nice. I I don't know if I'm missing anything. I got a little foil bead too that I kind of threw in at the last minute because I was like, yeah, I think I could use this. So quite a few things in here to play with and to get your imagination really like sparked up and ready to go. So let me put some of this stuff away because I actually have the project in mind that we're going to do for today. You will need a few things to get us started. Oh, I forgot about these little like pink mermaid beads because I wanted to throw in a little bit of pink to kind of like go with this. Just a little bit. I think the primary color for this kit was teal. It won't be for every kit. I really just was feeling I was feeling the teal in the beginning of the year. That's just exactly what I wanted. Hi, Elizabeth. Thanks for joining in. Oh, Lorena says mine was a huge heart. Yes, you guys get all the huge hearts for sure. From me and from our other silkies out there. Alrighty. So our first project, you're going to need a few things, but let me show you what the finished product is. So we're going to make this for tonight. I just thought that I wanted to capture some stars because we all need a little bit of something this week to get us through. So let's capture a star in our little frame, and let me go over what the materials are for this project. Let me put that out. That's going to be our like example finished piece that I'll refer to. Okay, you will need one of your frames. This is all in the kit, by the way, except for the wire. I'll specifically note what kind of wire you need. Okay, so you'll need one of the frames from the kit. You'll need a star. It does have a little hole in it to be used as a charm. It really doesn't bother me that the hole is exposed in our little star pendant, to be honest. I think it's just, you kind of forget that it's there because of all the wire work. And then we've got a 8mm mermaid glass in the gray color. So have those beads out to the side, and then you're gonna need some wire. Now, this is a color that I've actually not used from from Softflex wire. This is silver plated pewter, which is just sort of a off silver color, almost gunmetal to kind of, but not really. It's just like a very shiny gunmetal, if you will. I don't know how else to describe it. Very pewter in its raw form. But in saying that this is not a pure silver finding, and that it is more of a, regular like nickel metal color, I just thought that the metal of the, or the color of the wire would just be a nice accent or a complement to it. So I'm going to be using that tonight, and to do this project, you'll need about 15 inches of that wire in 26 gauge. So I'm going to point this out one more time. Silver plated pewter, if you want that color. You can use you could use silver if you wanted. Just make sure it is a soft craft wire. I highly recommend Softflex craft wire for that. And then make sure it's 26 gauge. Okay? And then you'll need some of your beautiful sparkly rainbow colored knitted wire that I gave you guys in the kit. You don't need very much. This stuff will actually last quite a bit, depending on how you use it. In this case, I just used roughly about 3 inches. So I'm actually going to cut off a little bit more extra than I need just to make sure I have enough on the side. And I'm going to set that out here. The other thing you'll need is some glue, some E6000. This is going to help to secure... got beads flying all over the place. This is going to be helpful to secure the sides here. Just because it is secure with the wire. I didn't actually weave the wire into it, though. I did glue it on the outside just because I like cheating. But believe it or not, the E6000 industrial glue, I'm saying, like, this stuff's, like, industrial for sure. It is a silicone base, and so it needs, like, a good 24 hours to dry. Sometimes I get impatient because I want to make stuff and share it immediately, but you really do need 24 hours to let it dry. Very, very stiff and cure as it needs to. Alrighty, so this is relatively easy, you guys. What you're gonna do is take your wire, and I'm just going to actually bring it up through my pendant here, wrap it around the stem a couple times, and then I'm just gonna go into the other side and wrap it around a couple more times. This is basically to secure and anchor my wire as I tend to, or not tend, I guess, as I continue to work with it here. Now, this frame is pretty special. Normally it's used for resin or some sort of a build of different, I don't know, what am I trying to say? I guess like if you're trying to use resin or have some sort of an extra like layer of things, this type of frame is great for that. I haven't really seen it used much in other jewelry applications, to my knowledge, because I know the frame in other types of jewelry have been much thinner. This is roughly about 2.5 millimeters wide, maybe even 3. And so this is going to give us a nice bit of depth to be able to accommodate for our star. As you can see in here, it just kind of fits in nice and perfect in between that space. And so that's what we're going to use here. So I just wrapped it around a couple times, and then I'm just going to go to the far end and basically wrap it again. And we're going to create a little webbing with our wire. Just a few times, just to get us a nice little cage, if you will, to get us started here. So I'll just basically hop over to the opposite side, go ahead and wrap around a couple times. There we go. Or just once, actually. I think I just need to go around once. It might start to look a little crooked. That's okay. If that bothers you, you can definitely straighten that out with some chain nose pliers. Not a big deal. Okay. In fact, I've got a little fun star shape going here as we're talking through this. Here we go. How funny. Although that's, I mean, I'm gonna try and randomize it just a little bit more, but you guys get the idea of like working the wire around to get yourself a nice little space going for that star to fit right in. At some point, you'll be able to kind of just stop for a second and then see if your star can fit in fact. And I think I might be able to. You just push that right in. There we go. And then you can kind of see where you need to have some wire wrapping just to help support it. So it looks like I need to do one on this side and bring it down. So let me go ahead and try that. Leanne, I'm so glad you were able to join in. She says, praise Jesus, I got my internet back on just now. Hello, Nealay and the Silkies. Honey, we're glad to have you here. I'm glad that you're able to tune in for sure. This is coming out pretty cool. So yeah, you could just kind of fit your star in if you need to manipulate and to work some wires around. We're not twerking today. I think we're gonna wait for summer for that to happen. But you can kind of see that this is starting to stabilize quite well. And I just want to end my wire back up in the space up here as we started. So there we go. Pretty good. Again, I can kind of pinch and manipulate my wires to make it stay as I need to. If I need to get a nice firm wire wrap, I can grab my chain nose pliers here and bring it back up. So that looks pretty good. It seems like we've captured a star to match our current example. And now what I'm gonna do is accommodate my knitted wire. So how many of us remember the fabulous tip about pinching the end and making sure that there's no fuzzies? That's what we want to do to one of our ends here. So let me grab my pliers again. The idea here, and what I mean by fuzzies, is sometimes whenever you cut the knitted wire, these little splinters, hopefully you guys can see that, come out of it. And what we need to do is shake those off because they can sort of kind of get in the way of either crimping, or if I'm trying to work this knitted wire into something specific, Sometimes it gets caught up on that splinter, and then it could potentially fall out of your design, and we don't want that happening. So we'll just go a knit or two in, and I'm going to secure it with that little piece of wire that I had sticking out that I just brought back up from wire wrapping my star. So I'm going to do that to both sides, but I'm going to start with this one side first. Ideally, I think I probably want a little bit more wire to work with, but I think for the sake of this example, this should be okay. We're going to take some extra wire and wrap the top of it anyway, so it'll be all right. Okay, if I've got a little bit of wire sticking up out here, I'm just going to go back and flatten it just a little bit more, just so that I can make sure that my knitted wire falls where it needs to when I go back and glue this. Okay, so that looks pretty good to me, in fact, and it doesn't look like my piece is going to fall out, which is great. Normally, I would want to apply the glue before I do this, just so I can make sure that it's going to stay in the shape that I'm intending it to be in. Unfortunately, this is a video, and I didn't prepare any examples ahead of time. So I'm just going to dabble a little bit of glue, and I think you guys will get the idea that you'll need to have it dry for 24 hours before you can really, like, mess with it, you know? I think it'll be okay for the time being, though. Okay, there we go. Okay, same thing here. Whenever you get it all matched up there at the top, let me put my glue away. I'm loving this airing. I mean, this is really, I think, a great interpretation of Northern Lights. Hi, Joyce! I don't think I saw your name pop in, so I'm giving you a big digital hug right now. And a very squeaky, high-pitched hello. Okay, looks like I just need to trim it off right here. I just usually go about a single bead above where I need to trim it off. And we're gonna shake out those little splinters or fuzzies, whatever we wanna call them. There's usually like 4, I think, that work itself into this. So just be a little patient and they'll come out. Looks pretty good. I'm gonna push this little bead back in as best as I can and pinch that wire just above it. And you'll notice some of my stuff here has shifted just because I'm trying to do this while we're all here together, but I think we're gonna be okay. Cool, okay. So now I just sewed back into my knitted wire there. Now again, you'll definitely want some time for this to dry, but I think for the time being, we're gonna be okay. Okay, so you'll just basically wrap that wire around and then wrap it around the bead of that top part. We're gonna take some extra wire and really, like, you know, cover up some of this stuff that we're doing up here to make it look prettier. But I think from a security standpoint, this is ideally what you want it to look like. Okay, I just need to do that like maybe 3 times or so. I might have done 4 wraps there, but you guys get the idea as far as a nice secure hold. So that's step 1 of all this, or I guess step 2 or 3. Hi, Em. Thanks for joining in, my friend. I hope you're doing well and staying safe and warm and all the warm, fuzzy stuff. Okay, let me get some of these splinters out of the way. So you're asking yourselves, how do we finish this off? That's a good question. We're gonna grab some more wire. So I have here again, I'm using 26 gauge in pewter. And for the top part, I just used about roughly 8 to 10 inches. You can use as much as you want. If you really want like a big, messy wrap at the top, then of course you can use more wire. And this one I just kind of went more of a middle ground to make it work. But this step's very, very easy. I just kind of find a place to anchor my wire into the knitted wire, and then I just go back through, hold everything together, and then just start to wrap it around. Very, very easy. If you pinch down, the wire starts to kind of form around where you need it to stay, which is this wrapping here at the bottom. There we go. Okay. Looks like I've got a little bit of a tip there that I need to either work into the knitted wire so it doesn't poke out. So let me do that. And I'll go ahead and do the same with this extra little piece out here on the side. I may go back in and put some more wire. We'll see. I definitely want it to match this one, so it looks like I'm just short a little bit. Oh, I might as well do it now, right? Let's do it all together. So in that case, more than 8 inches. That's probably what you'll need. Yes, Joyce says it's like adding a wire cap on the top. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a great way to put it, Joyce. Hi, Ginger Branch. It's my crazy Silky. How you doing? You staying out of trouble? Something tells me no. Okay, let's put some more wire in. So again, I'm just going to anchor it into the knitted wire. That kind of gives me a place to hold it while I'm doing this wrap. Pinch. Perfect. Look at that. I love this pewter color. It's such a, I don't know, I feel like it's such a modest color because it's not silver. It's not super bright and shiny. It's just kind of a nice metallic sheen for this color. Let's see. So that looks really good. Go ahead and work this wire around. And we'll just go ahead and work this one in too. In fact, let me trim this up a little bit so I can tuck it back into the knitted wire. That's when I think one of my favorite advantages to using wire, specifically craft wire with this knitted wire, is that you can really like safely and securely and sneakily hide all of your stuff into the knits of that wire. And it works out pretty well. So now I'm just going to make sure that some of these wires are keeping that star captured inside. But otherwise, that's kind of the basis of the earring. And now what I have to do is finish my little bead here at the top. So remember when I said take out your gray mermaid bead? This is where we're going to use that. So again, I used more of the pewter wire here. Let me grab some more. I use this stuff liberally. Like I say, you know, use certain, you know, such and such inches, but really like you can use as much as you want. It's always better to have a little bit more than less. I will say that. That's always a good practice. Okay, so we're gonna do some quick little wire wrap loops, and we're gonna leave the loop on one side unwrapped because we need to tuck in our finding here. So let me walk you through this before we string it here. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to take my wire, I'm gonna go a few inches in, and I would say probably about 4 inches into the wire because we're going to create caps at both the top and the bottom of the bead, as you can see here. So we're going to need a little bit of extra wire to work with to do that. Okay, you just simply bend at a 90-degree angle, as you can see. You'll go in with your round nose pliers since we need to insert our finding into our loop, it looks like we need to be on a bigger size round, bigger part of the mandrel here, just because we need to be able to fit this into it. So I'm going to go about a full third of the way in, and then just wrap my wire around. Okay, I'll lift off, I'll insert it back in on the other one, and then finish out my loop. So this basically already tells me that I've got a broken neck, which is perfect because look how symmetrical and round my loop is. And then I've got a side where I can insert that finding in before I wrap it. So I'll go ahead and do that now. Perfect. Now this is very thin wire. If you want to use something thicker, you can absolutely go with the 22 gauge. Works perfectly. All right, what I'm going to do for this part is I'm just going to wrap it around a couple times to begin with. And get my coil all nice and aligned there. If you're doing just a regular wire wrap, you can absolutely cut it off there, and that'll be that. But we're going to string in our bead, and we're going to go ahead and make the wire wrap on the other side, and then we'll finish it out with our caps. So same process here. I'm going to take it with the very tip of my chain nose pliers. I'm going to create a nice little bend. Okay, work that around. I can go a little bit smaller on my loop here because it's going to go in the earring. Hook. There we go. Got it nice and round. And then I'm going to grasp it with my chain nose pliers, and then I'm going to work it around, coil it around a few times. And then I'm just going to loosely start to coil it against the bead, and you'll see that it starts to build up this beautiful cap. Once I've gotten it around a few times, I can actually start to kind of coil it back up against that neck. And again, this is going to be great if you've got really good soft wire to work with. So another reason, I'm just saying, like, I'm not trying to hard sell or anything, but I'm just saying I use a soft flex craft wire for a reason. It's like so easy on your fingers to work with. Very forgiving, I will say that. The plating on it's just immaculate too. Alrighty, so once I've done that, I can kind of trim and do my trim and tuck. That's what I call it. I am by no capacity a wire genius here. Like, wire wrapping and me are not a thing. I'm not good at it. At least I don't think I am. But I know some basic concepts to kind of get me through, you know, just the wire wrap look, at least. In this case, I don't know wire wrapping, but I sure do know how to capture a star. So with that little experience, I hope that that's something that you guys can take away and try for yourself, for those of you that are uncomfortable with wire wrapping as much as I am. I know Sarah Ellis is a lot more talented in that department than I am. She's done quite a bit of wire wrap pieces that are also beginner friendly, I think. I need to give some of her techniques a try, in fact. Okay, so I just wrapped the rest of that wire around my bead here to get myself. I love this gray on gray that's happening, by the way. I've got this beautiful pewter wire. I've got this gray bead that has this mermaid shimmer to it, the AB color that, again, matches with our kit. And it's just, I don't know, again, it's just a great representation of Northern Lights to me. So let me grab my earring hook. Goodness knows where I put it. Which the earrings hook, they were not included in the kit, but hopefully you guys have a pretty good stash at home that you can use. So for the time being, I don't know where the heck my hook is, but it's one of those things that I'm gonna find. Oh wait, no, never mind, just kidding. Okay, it appeared to me magically as I was about to say my defeat, but I found it. Nothing's gonna get us today, you guys. Nothing. There we go. Look at that. Beautiful. I've got a stunning pair of earrings that I could easily throw, or one of you could. I don't actually have pierced ears, but if I put a clip-on on, you can bet that I would be wearing these. Aren't these just super, super fun? And it doesn't take much technique because, again, I don't know wire wrapping, but I do know my way enough to cheat wire wrapping. Really cool, though. So I'm going to put those aside, and I'm going to show you guys what our next project's going to be. Let me clear this board. Here we go. Ooh, Em said Northern Lights is on her bucket list. Mine too, friend. I think my entire, like, mystery kit series is on my bucket list. There's some beautiful places out there that I would love to visit. Okay, so I want to work with the teal chain, and I thought it would be great to make a companion necklace in a lariat style. So what I'm thinking is that if we put in our beads, arrange them in such a way to kind of hang them out, and I don't know, just add a little bit of pizzazz and shimmer and color to the bottom pieces here. This one's going to be stubborn and not stay. I definitely want to put my heart in there. I put my heart into everything I do, you guys, so I couldn't resist that little pun. Okay, there we go. So I think what I want to do is just do a randomized collection of beads here. I've got this beautiful pink that I could throw in. I've got these stars. There's 4 in the kit, and then I've got, 2 left over, technically, so that I could use it in this piece. So, I went ahead and I made a chain for this, and I'm going to show you guys what I did. So here it is. And then I went ahead and attached it to the end cap. Now, let me tell you what I did, because we're going to do the other side together, or part of it, because I have part of it constructed here. So this will work into our chain, just like that, whenever I show you guys how to crimp it. And what I did was I took our Baroque shape, and then I put the teal on top of it, followed by our rainbow bead, the 10 millimeter mermaid bead, and then I think this one's a 6 millimeter pink mermaid bead, and then just some of our little crystals here. So I just used a series of simple loops on 20 gauge silver colored wire. So I didn't use the 26 gauge, but I used 20 gauge on this. So it's a little bit more robust when it comes to wearing a necklace. The only thing that I did use the 26 on was these little end pieces. I did our little wire wrap messy loop, actually. So I'm gonna walk you through how to do that on the heart and the other star, because I made a second strand here that I just use a little star dangle and then added some more beads onto it. So I just thought, this is gonna be a nice little bouquet of rainbow, if you will. So, let's see. I kind of just repeated the same pattern, it looks like. So for the other end cap, which I've got lying around here somewhere, let me see if I can grab it real quick. Yeah, this is what I'm working with. This is why it's taken me forever to find it. I mean, how do you find stuff in all that rainbow? I don't really know. There's so much going on in this tray. Okay, I found it. There we go. And it was look, I've got this dark velvet, and then I've got this gunmetal end cap that's trying to fight its way out of it. Anyway, all right, so I got this cute little chain here. I've got my little beads here set up for my star. So I'm gonna grab some 26 gauge wire. Again, I used 20 for the main link of this. All these little links over here, I used 20 gauge. And then to do this little star, I used 26 gauge. These are really the only 2 wires that I use for everything. I kind of threw out my other wires because I realized that whenever I'm saying this in videos, it causes more confusion to have different options. So if I were to only have different options, it would be with the color palette and not the size. So the one I guess, challenge I gave to myself was just to make sure that I have a consistent wire size whenever I'm talking to you guys. And that is 26 gauge and 20 gauge. Okay, this is really easy to wire wrap this. All I did was just string it through and bring my two wires up to meet each other. You'll notice that they cross here at a certain point, and that's what I'm going to use to start my wire wrapping. So I'll grasp it in my round nose pliers, and I'm just going to work it around, just like that. I'm going to come back in with my chain nose pliers and what I call break that neck, just like that. So that what that does is it centralizes my loop. That way it's nice and symmetrical. And then I'm going to grasp everything with these pliers at the very tip there. And I am just going to wrap it around. And I'll do this to both wires. So you can do this a few times. You can do this many times. I personally think that 4 is probably great for both pieces of wire. So we'll cut that off there. We're going to pinch this in. I think I pinched it in. Oh, there we go. And then same thing on this side. So I'll grasp my little round nose, or excuse me, my little simple loop there, and twist this around. Very easy. So as you can see, that creates a nice, very, very secure little loop. There we go. Okay, and I just want to make sure that I take my time and tuck in all of my little ends and pieces there so that nothing pokes around or comes at me. I have enough problems with technology. I don't need my wire wrap pieces attacking me either. So that looks really good. I'm going to go ahead and attach that to my chain here. I'm glad you think my jokes are funny. I always laugh at my own jokes and then people look at me very judgmentally. I don't know why. I'm just having a little fun, you guys. Okay. Let me find the seam of my little... I used a jump ring here, you guys, to kind of just collect everything. You don't have to. You can absolutely just attach it directly to the end cap and call it good. So that's totally up to you. I just thought the jump ring would give me a little bit of extra length to it as well, as I'm wanting something very, very dangly. All right, so the last thing we need to attach is our heart. We're going to do this in the same process, but Suzanne Brown is right. We got to have fun one way or the other. If that means laughing at our own jokes, we're going to laugh at our own jokes. Okay, so with the heart, it needs a little bit more, I guess, stability. And so to do that, I'm going to use 20 gauge wire for this process instead. Just going to add a little bit more body to the wire wrapping. Oh no, Marianne says I had a piece of wire jump out and bite my toe yesterday. See? You gotta keep the wires and the technology in line because you just never know. That stuff needs to be controlled. I'm saying. Okay, same process. I'm going to actually just do a very casual wire wrap. I'm making sure that I give myself a liberal amount of space to work with whenever I'm doing this. So again, I'll just grasp it into my round nose pliers there and work my wire around the mandrel of the round nose. Kind of looks a little ugly, a little weird at first, but once you start to break that neck and then readjust your wire, you'll see it starts to look more like a coat hanger. And that's what we're going for. Okay, just adjust it to where it's nice and central on that heart. You can see if I hold the heart very parallel, then, or very much on its side, you could see how centralized that loop is. So then I'll grasp everything with my pliers, and then I'll go ahead and just turn that wire around and around. And I'm going to trim it. I just did that a couple times. I'm going to use most of this other wire to go ahead and give myself a nice, fun, messy loop here, or wire wrapping on this loop. Okay. There we go. That's the stuff. Okay, just need to turn this in. Brilliant. Look how easy and fun that was. And I just love that little like messy loop there at the top. Worked out really well. Okay, so now I'll just connect everything together. I can grab my simple loop on my little glitter bead here at the end. And again, all of these materials except for the wire are available in the kit. So it is all inclusive. I made sure to use stuff that is in there and not extra beads or extra findings or extra anything, just so you guys know what to do with the materials in it. And hopefully you have wire at home. If not, again, go stock up on this stuff. It's so good. So, so good. Very inexpensive too. All right, the time has come where we get to put everything together. Yay! All right, let's go over how to do this with our end caps. We have our little wire here, our knitted wire. What I'm gonna do is shake those fuzzies off, make sure that my ball chain is nice and inside of my knitted wire there. Just give it a good pinch if you need to. And it looks like I don't have fuzzies on this, which is quite suspicious. Maybe I did it ahead of time, who knows. Okay, so that's step one, is to make sure that all the fuzzies are gone and that you have a nice clean edge here. The second step is to open up this end cap, just to give yourself a bit more comfort in crimping. So what I do is I insert my chain nose pliers. I've got a very fine tip with my pliers here. I'm gonna insert it in, and I'm just gonna press out against the handles to open it up just a bit more. And by a bit more, I'm talking like maybe 2 millimeters max. That's all you really need. Okay, that's step two. Step three is to find your wide nose pliers. This is 6 millimeters roughly from end to end here. And this is going to be a very great way to grasp onto your finding and make sure that your crimp is nice and secure. So I'll just insert that in as much as I can. Luckily, the tool magic that's coated over my plier here grasp that end cap really well, so it doesn't slip all over the place. I used to use nylon jaw pliers, and you guys know how much trouble that was. For those of you that have followed my journey up to this point, they can be quite tricky. So I think chain nose pliers should just stick with straightening out wire. And the wide nose covered in tool magic certainly is great for crimping these little suckers. So here we go, and I've got a perfect crimp because all I do is just press it down. There's like special teeth inside for those of you that have never used these end caps, and it grasps onto the ball chain that's inside of this knitted wire. It's the core of it. That's what gives it structure and strength, is that ball core chain. And so these crimps were specifically designed to work with it. And basically you have your crimp. So we're going to do this to the other side. Okay. I must have cleaned these at some point because this is really too good looking. Like, normally I'd have some stuff that's some little wire pieces or whatnot sticking out. It looks like this is pretty cleaned up. I've got a little piece of wire sticking out there, but that's actually part of the knit, so I'm not too worried about that. Okay, I'll just go in and open this guy up. Okay. And then insert. This is also great because of the wide nose, I can kind of hold it in any position that I need to illustrate for you guys. Okay, one thing I didn't get to mention on that last part is, what if you have stuff sticking out here at the seam? Easy peasy, just trim it off. Let's take a pair of cutters and we'll just trim it right off. Stephanie is asking, did you use a full length of your SilverSilk? I did for this piece, Stephanie. I used the full 3-foot length that was included in the kit. Only because that this is one of those pieces that if you remember, we made a piece that was a lariat style for our 2-year anniversary, party workshop that we did. Similar to that style, except I'm just, switching out to different beads this time around. Oh my God, look how pretty that is. Now guys, can you really get more northern lights than this? Can you? I don't know. There's so much rainbow in this, it just makes me so happy. Look at that. So now you can kind of just do a cute little loose tie over here. And Stephanie, I hope I answered your question pretty thoroughly there. And you just, you throw that over your head and you are out the door, honey. April says gorgeous. Thank you, April. I love that. I need to get let me go grab my little neck form here, because I gotta show you guys what it looks like whenever it's worn on something. Donna says gorgeous. Thank you. I am loving it too. I'm quite happy with this design. With both of them actually, because look how great these earrings turned out too. And again, if I can make these, I know you guys should have hopefully no problems. I know we're all different skill levels in jewelry making here. We're all here to learn, encourage, and support each other. So if you guys have questions over these designs, I don't think my neck form is big enough. I might have to wear it, but we'll see. I can hold it up for you on this at least. So let me turn this camera around in the meantime. Over here. There we go. All right. I was really hoping that StreamYard would work for me, so I don't know what was going on there, but let me show you this. There we go. Boom. How pretty is that? Northern Lights Mystery Kit. So much fun. You got this necklace that you can make. If I can hold everything. And these beautiful earrings that you can make. Look at that. Get it in the light. So pretty. We did all the fun wire up. We caught a star. We need to catch all the fun stars that we can. And I think this made for a spectacular set of jewelry. I'm especially loving that necklace though. I guess simplicity sometimes is just enough to really make it super wearable and fashionable. So I can definitely see this on a lot of different types of people and their outfits. If you didn't know already, I've got my new kit out. It's called Seaside Santorini. If you love this kit, you're really gonna love that one. I promise. There's a beautiful pearlesque chain that I made for it. It's delicious. It's like Greek yogurt. It's so rich and a unique flavor. Very lush, dare I say? I don't know how to describe it. Gorgeous color palette too. If you are a blue and bronze kind of person, that's gonna be the kit for you. Hi Kendall, I don't know if I got to say hi to you earlier. All right, you guys, I love all of you and thank you so much for hopping back into my video with me. And you know what? Technology is not gonna stop us. Not the Silkies, not today, nor will weather stop us. We're somehow always gonna meet up with each other, and I think that's what I love about this community that we're building. Nothing's gonna stop us, so we will always create. If you wanna become a Silky, and if you're just tuning in and you don't know what that is, it's a beautiful community of some amazing people that love SilverSilk and love to chit chat as much as I do and create. So we all just got together and we formed this little group called the SilverSilk Silkies here on Facebook. So come find us, come join us, come bead with us, and come conquer weather and technology and beads with us and wire. If your wire is tricky at home, trying to also sabotage you. Otherwise, you can catch me on Facebook and YouTube. I am hoping to stream to both if technology works otherwise, and so I'll be on there for Tuesday Toots as well. And I've got a few events coming up, including another appearance at the Great Beat Extravaganza in March, which is when we're going to be opening up the Seaside Santorini kit and making something live together. Otherwise, I will be appearing with Katie Hacker, with Jill, and designer Debbie. I was gonna say Deborah. I think she goes by Debbie. As well for the Beads of Courage event that's coming up as well. Hopefully you guys got to click on that link, got to know the information, and will receive some information on where it's going to stream to. So you'll catch me on there with the other designers making stuff. And if not, I believe that information is on the business page of SilverSilk and More. But I'll repost and make sure you guys know where to find me. Otherwise, I guess I'll see you again on Tuesday Toots. Hopefully the weather's better for you guys next time. And for those of you who have experienced some issues this week, I'm going to send out the best, biggest positive vibes to you that I can to make sure that you guys are okay. Let us know here on the Silkies group or Facebook if you're doing well, or if you need some extra push in the universe energy to help guide some positivity and good stuff your way. So it does help. It helps in here especially, just to know that there's some people looking out for you. But otherwise, I'll leave you guys with a great evening, hopefully, and inspired and ready to create. And I will see you again one way or another on these Tuesday tutorials. I love all of you. Mwah! And I will see you next time. You can email me at orders@silversilkonline if you've got a question, or just leave me a message. And I'll come back and find you guys and respond to that. So, all right, bye, y'all.